Hello everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Nintendo Power Time Machine. I'm your host, Johnny Cage, and today we are looking at Volume 62 of Nintendo Power from July of 1994, featuring Super Street Fighter 2 on the front. Let's get working at this. First we see the ridiculous advertisements for Nintendo Power about eating 4 pounds of cafeteria meatloaf. Delightful. Headed for a black hole indeed. Game reviews. Super Street Fighter 2, Breath of Fire, Disney's Jungle Book, Sports Scene, Liberty or Death, Tetris 2, Double Dragon, and then a bunch of Game Boy games that no one cares about. Player's Pulse, where people would write in about games that they're playing and how great things are. People even made poetry for whatever reason. Fan art envelopes, pretty cool looking overall. Guile punching Scorpion there. Panoramic shot of the cover story. Super Street Fighter 2. T-Hawk, DJ, Cammy, Fei Long got introduced. You could also play as Bison, Sagat, Vega, and Bullrog, who were the bosses from Street Fighter 2, of course. And we get Ryu and Ken with their terrible artwork. Then it talks about what these characters have been doing in their off time. Let's see what it says about Honda. Looking as felt as ever, good old boy Edmund hasn't really learned any new tricks since the last go-around, but then again, he already knows that he's the best fighter. Why even try? All the more reason not to play as Honda. New locations: England, Mexico, Jamaica, Hong Kong. T-Hawk, Fei Long, how to do their moves, which resemble moves that probably already exist in the game with other characters. Same for Cammy and DJ. I do like, though, how they mention their blood type at the bottom, right below their weight. Just in case they were to need a blood transfusion, they would at least know who a proper donor is. Breath of Fire, typical RPG of the mid-90s. Nothing really special about this that I can recall. I've only played it briefly. There's a shot at the world map in it. It's got a lot of characters, though, which makes it a little bit unique compared to the usual Final Fantasy stuff. Although Final Fantasy 3 was right around the corner, and that certainly had a huge cast of characters in it as well. Story continues. They get you, a few paces into the game, and then you're on your own. Play it loud, very loud. Brief screenshots of games to come. Donkey Kong Country, Super Punch-Out, Shaq Fu. Oh yeah, I got Shaq Fu. Mortal Kombat 2, some Earthworm Jim over there. Same thing over here. Indiana Jones, Super Return of the Jedi. Uniracers, because, they had such high hopes for a game with racing unicycles. And, of course, as I just mentioned, Final Fantasy 3. Jungle Book. With all their frames of animation, pushing the limits of the Super Nintendo, showing what it's truly capable of. Usual, what you would find in Nintendo Power. Entire level shots and how to beat them. Sports Scene. Sports games were really popular around this time. NBA Jam had just come out, as well as Ken Griffey Jr.'s Major League Baseball, and now soccer's getting the treatment with their World Cup soccer. Don't forget to protect your noggin with the Elvis hairpiece. Play like the king. Even featuring an article with Pele. The graphics have a two-dimensional feel. I don't know if that's such a good thing. Oh well. Liberty or Death. A Revolutionary War type strategy tactics game. Probably didn't play very well. A lot of these games didn't. Like if you played Civ for a console, I know Civ 1's for the Super Nintendo. Not very fun. Generals to choose from: George Washington. Only 58 tactics out of 100. Not very tactical general. Tetris 2, which featured oddly shaped blocks from the original, but it's Tetris. Not a whole lot more you can do with it. Pro plays Battle, Double Dragon 5, an attempt to take down Street Fighter, dethrone it. Of course, they have to have their gimmicky characters. Trigger Happy, of course, has a cannon for an arm. Obligatory skeleton character. And Shadow, the most fearsome of them all. What makes Williams work so well? Featuring some of their games: NBA Jam, Mortal Kombat 2, a whole history of their games from Spy Hunter to Revolution X. Revolution X right there, a game featuring Aerosmith. Demolition Man pinball game, a little bit on what they know of the Mortal Kombat movie that was going to come out sooner than later. That seems like it was still in its early stages. A walkthrough of Secret of Mana, done in kind of a journal format. So you could take it day by day if you really want to feel like you got your money's worth from buying the game. Look at your arsenal of swords, axes, whips, and flails. Pretty long walkthrough, actually. Classified information where they would give you tips and cheats on how to beat games, how to get all those characters from NBA Jam that were secret, like Bill Clinton and whatnot. Jurassic Park, Rock and Roll Racing, Flashback, which was a very graphic-intensive game at the time. Lesser the Unlikely. How can I survive the river stage? Good question. Mega Man 6. I'll have a lot to say about Mega Man 6 later on. Final Fantasy Legend 3. This Game Boy Final Fantasy game's not that great. Challenges. Challenge of the week. Monopoly. How much money can you wheel and deal from your opponents? That's my challenge. Comment. Get out your old version of NES Monopoly and let me know. Make for the Borders. Let's talk about the Super Game Boy, which was a cartridge you put into the Super Nintendo and a slot for Game Boy games, and it gave your Game Boy games color. That was, of course, before the Game Boy Color came out. Tarzan. I'm sure there was quite a market for Tarzan. I don't know if the animated movie that all that Phil Collins music had come out or not yet, but, it doesn't look very good by the looks of it. Jungle Book. Why not? Once again, this time for the Game Boy as well. The cover should have just had Jungle Book on it, but then I guess not many people would have been too interested in picking up this issue. Space Invaders. Finally, the arcade hit that started it all is here in America for the Game Boy. Yeah. Jeopardy Sports Edition. I can only imagine that game's terrible. Win a chance to go to the World Series in 1994 by being really good at Ken Griffey Jr. Major League Baseball, apparently. The top 20 games of the time: NBA Jam #1, Wario Land, Legend of Zelda. Now playing, so these were for releases coming soon, and I love the retail prices of these. $62.99 suggested for Disney's Jungle Book for the Super Nintendo. Just cannot believe that. Liberty or Death, that ridiculous-looking tactical game, $72.95. My God, I cannot imagine paying that much for these kind of a game. He's kind of a game indeed. Let's see. This gives your ratings, different things, graphics, and control. Probably a few other things that I don't really know. Spider-Man and Venom. Stunt Race FX. Shin's Revenge, where you throw shuriken at people. That's an interesting game. Let's see. Cool Spot for the Game Boy. Cool Spot was pretty good for the Super Nintendo. Samurai Showdown 2, Time Cop, that great movie featuring Jean-Claude Van Damme. Games to come out soon. Next issue, Superman, Death and Return of Superman, Stunt Race FX, even Lord of the Rings Volume 1. Oh, and would you look at that? I can save $1.50 on one of my consoles being repaired, and 10% off of suggested retail price of any repair or replacement component. Unfortunately, they expired December 31st, 1994. And don't miss your chance to go to PowerFest. You have no excuses. It's totally free. You can visit them, I guess, at your local Kmart and Walmart, mostly. Certainly sparing no expense for great locations. And on the back, a picture of Samus. She's waiting. Well, that's all for this episode. I plan on doing a few more in the future. If there's anything you want me to talk about more in regards to this issue or future issues, let me know. You guys take it easy. This is Johnny Cage, signing out.